Hello, welcome to 100% Worse. I'm Connor, that's Graham. Let's get going. Sorry.
My chair will not stop squeaking. I think if you're going to talk at that volume, we need to put you across the room.
Probably.
Oh, man. Sorry, all I can think about is so on the way here, we were driving and we pulled up beside this red Toyota Corolla. And obviously Connor had his eyes on the road, but I looked over and they had how many air fresheners?
It was either 5 or 6.
5 or 6 of those little trees hanging from their mirror. And also they were like red to match the color of the car. All we could think. Like we were just looking at this and we were like,
they are smoking the marijuana.
that is a weed mobile right there.
There's no other thing.
They're blowing clouds. That is a hot box delivery service that delivers hot boxes unto itself. Unlicensed hot box pizza merchandise in the form of dank clouds. That kind herb is hidden in every seat cushion of this vehicle. The wheels are made of cotton.
So much that they need 6 air fresheners
6
of the
air
same
fresheners
scent.
Of the same pine tree freshness.
Either that, or they put one on there, and then obviously, it gets less powerful over time.
Okay.
And then they put another one on there without taking the first one off because they didn't think that far ahead. But they've had the car for so long, they've just kept stacking air fresheners onto it.
I would believe that. I would consider that, except for the fact that when we followed them around one turn, because we just happened to be going in the same direction, we were behind them. We got to the next stoplight, and they were about 100 feet in front of us, and we just saw this ethereal cloud billow out of the driver's side window.
Yeah, the window was rolled down a crack, and you could just see it, just like there was too much in there, and it was trying to shove itself out this little window, so it was coming out at like a force greater than what it was just drifting around in the car. It was.
There was some serious physics going on there. It was like a magical weather factory. Weed smoking, that's a habit, huh?
Yeah, it can be a habit. But why did you use the word habit?
Habit? Well, first of all, what's up, my dude?
Not much. I've been incredibly busy. Haven't really done anything else other than work. So
yeah.
I'm doing this right now from work.
Mm-hmm. You're doing it from work?
No, like after work. Yeah, I'm paging in.
No, I get what you mean. Like you came here directly from work, but I'd rather think of you just just huddled under a popcorn machine with like a clip-on microphone and a clip-on tie. Just in between patrons, telling me your opinions on our topic today, habits.
Yeah.
Weird habits. Why we have them? I don't know, man.
Irrational habits, like the type of things that you end up doing every single time. You don't know why, but you do it now.
You just
so
do it.
much that it's kind of a routine to the gods of mediocrity.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
All right.
Your best friends created the best show in the universe, and they took that show and made that show 100% worse.
Presenting Podcast Extravaganza 100% Worse, the show that gets better every day, photographically enhanced for a more pleasant viewing experience.
So, Graham, what's your habit?
Well, Connor, what's my habit? Well, I tell you, I can't stop eating gummy worms. No,
No, that's actually a mood.
That's a mood. Oh, I know this is a bit off the rails already, but I was just thinking again, one of the most common complaints that I've heard is that our voices sound identical. Now, I don't believe that.
I know.
But I also think that there's something very handy that we have been doing this whole time to help you differentiate our voices. And That is that I occasionally bump the microphone with my chin, whereas Connor just bumps it all the time. No, but what we actually do is my voice actually comes in. I'm panned slightly to the right.
And I'm panned slightly to the left. I realize that pause is probably because you wanted me to say it.
Yeah,
so
if I said it, it would still be from the right. From the right is where it would be from. Yeah, I've got some weird habits, I guess. Like almost like superstitions, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff you do, and you're like, well, I always do it that way, but I don't. There's no reason. Here's one. Not to be blue, but I absolutely cannot use any toilet ever at all unless I wipe it off a bit, like first with a little, you know.
That's just being sanitary. That's not even a weird habit. I wouldn't even consider that weird.
Yeah, but it's like I could be the only one home.
It's your toilet. This toilet is only exclusively used by you.
Yeah. Like I could stand up from a toilet and then sit back. I don't know why that string of actions would occur, but if
a eureka moment.
Sure, yeah, a eureka moment. You got to stand up, point
your sky.
Yeah, I don't know if you mean like like an Archimedes eureka moment or like a Stan Lee eureka moment, because those are a little bit different.
Fun fact, Archimedes never had a eureka moment.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but he did come up with vapes, and where would we be without vapes?
Archimedes came up with vapes.
Yeah, he did. Well, first it was the Archimedes screw, which allowed you to transport liquid using a screw. And then from there, it was just a short, just kind of a short jump to vape pens.
You just straight up vape pens. Yep.
Straight up vape pens.
Archimedes, strolling down the street, hitting this little pen. People are like, whoa, what is that thing?
Yeah, just blowing clouds. He had so many air fresheners in his chariot. He had like 6. Okay, maybe that's not that weird. I gotta, break off some toilet paper and wipe off the seat every single time, even at home. Maybe that's not super weird. Okay, here's one that could be weird. You know how some people, when they're like going to take a shower, they check behind the shower curtain to see if there's a murderer.
Well, yeah, naturally.
Natch. I check behind the shower curtain, but all the time, whenever I go into the bathroom. And not only the shower curtain, I also check in the the bathroom closet and under the sink.
Why?
I'm not sure.
Looking for one of your cats? Or
I'm not sure what size murderer is hiding under the sink. But I guess you just can't be too careful.
Unless it be like a leprechaun with a
Well, the other thing is like
villainous intent.
I have this almost like paranoid feeling that that one of these days I'm going to check under the sink or like in like the closet and there's just going to be a random kid there, even though like we typically don't have any kids in our house at all.
What?
I feel
Could you maybe explain this?
No, like maybe just like some random like street kid would just come in. We live in the suburbs. Just some random street kid could come in and would just be, I don't know, just chilling in there. You know?
I would classify that as weird.
Just a street kid. You check behind the shower curtain?
No, I don't. But I do have a habit with showers.
Okay.
Every time I turn the water on,
Mm-hmm.
I have to close my eyes. I can reach out, grab the handle, close my eyes, and then turn the water on.
Do you mean, okay, this is a huge question here. Is this once you're, and wait till I ask the whole question
Okay.
before responding to any parts of it as per Iowa test guidelines. Is this
No.
does this happen? Fill in the bubble. Does this happen once you're like the water's running, you're in the shower and you pull the handle to turn the shower part on, or is this like when you're still completely outside of the tub area and you are reaching over to turn on the handle from the outside and you're not anywhere near the water?
From the outside. I might even still have my clothes on because, like, you know, you turn it on a little bit ahead of time to
and
get
it warms
hot.
up. Yeah.
When you're grabbing that little lever to switch it from bath to shower mode, gotta close my eyes with that one too. I don't know why. It's just something. It's just something.
What an absolute goober. No, honestly, that's one of my favorite things that I've ever heard. Could you put a tally mark on Tortellino of just things that I've extremely enjoyed about doing this show? Make a little mark underneath it. Could you just do a little drawing of your face so I remember it was something that you said that made me so happy?
Tortellino's got a little chalkboard on his saddle.
Yeah. If you'll remember, Tortellino is our studio elephant.
Yeah, he's just kind of chilling in the corner right now.
Not every studio can afford an elephant, but if you can, why not? Why wouldn't you?
He's super handy. He's eyeing my milkshake though.
Yeah. The thing about elephants is like when they, because if you share a milkshake with somebody, you get 2 straws. But if elephants share a milkshake, it's because they kind of like they kind of have built-in straws.
Yeah, they are the straw.
Yeah,
and the straw will suck up the entire milkshake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
before you even realize.
Probably with the cup included.
Yeah, was it Dumbo maybe, or was it another
famous animated elephant? I can think of one
where like the trunks were like vacuums.
And they were eating peanuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dumbo?
I believe that was Dumbo.
Yeah. Where they just like stick their trunk, like under the door and just like and then like all the peanuts in the room would just come like flying to the trunk. Like I'm sure that's not how it works, but
that was a weird thing, huh? Anyone have any weird habits, or anybody you've seen?
Not really.
Because what I was gonna say is that something I've seen in my family, and I don't think that I do this, but I would say at least half of my family, when they get emotional or upset, they become Southern. So like if something particularly upsetting happens, they'll come out, and instead of going, "What are you doing?" because we're from California and Indiana, so that's how we talk. This is our dialect. But instead of that, it'll be kind of like a, "What are you doing?" And I've heard that before.
I think you've heard Hank Hill say that.
It was that's 100% what it is. They turn into Hank Hill. They just walk out, whatever's going on, and they go, "Dang it, Bobby. I can't believe you would do something like this. I've been down at the Y. You can learn anything at the Y."
I don't really take notice of other people's habits, but one that I do myself, again, just another one that's not like shower related because we've already talked about that, is when I'm making a sandwich, not sandwich, I get out the bread, I put it on a plate. Mm-hmm. I get out one of the things. If it's ham and cheese, I get out the mayo first. I unscrew it. I do the mayo. I screw it back, and I put it back in the fridge. And then I grab the ham, and I open it.
So it's kind of one ingredient at a time.
Put the ham back, and then I grab the cheese. Yeah. And same thing with like peanut butter and jelly. It's just 2 jars, right? Bam, 2 jars side by side. Boom, open up, and get it. You're done. Nope.
Goober.
No. Please, no.
I said this thing the other day where it feels like raccoons would enjoy goober, because it's both a trash food and something that's striped. And that's nothing, but
That's not a bit.
at the time, it felt like it needed development. I feel like the flaw in kind of your sandwich making strategy is that if you get out mayo and then
Are
mayo,
you going to mention French fries?
no, if
This
you get
kid puts mayonnaise on his French fries.
which to all of our European listeners will not be that
Okay.
weird.
I understand it's probably a thing in Europe, but like, y'all have health care and stuff over there. So like,
You know, I'm gonna give you that one. That's a very good point. You shouldn't put mayo on fries unless you have solid health care. Maybe that's why people don't do it in the U.S. Then again, we do have the Taco Bell breakfast menu, which I feel kind of negates that little tidbit. No, I feel like the flaw in your mayo thing or your sandwich thing is that if you get out bread and then you get out mayo and then you get out a knife and then you spread the mayo on the bread and then you have a heart attack, the next person to walk into the room is going to think, oh my gosh, Connor was trying to make a mayo sandwich. And then it'll be like, oh my gosh, he's dead. But like the first big thing they're going to notice is that they're going to think you were making a mayonnaise sandwich, which is far worse than anything else going on in that scenario. Hey, it's time for a little segment that I like to call Good Bad Ideas. I think there was one real note in there, and the other ones were kind of sliding. A little bit of that Mel Torme slide, but without the accuracy.
all right, hit me with some of these.
Here, and I never know why the word bad is in there. I certainly didn't put it there. These are really good ideas. These are solid ideas. Now, some of them might not be fleshed out all the way. So I mean, bear with.
Sure
with. First one, kind of just to mull over, spaghetti and paintballs.
To eat or to shoot out of a gun?
They
Spraying spaghetti out of a gun all over somebody?
here's
Kind of fun. I'd imagine that'd be fun.
is that now I'd hate for this to become practical all of a sudden, but if you fire a paintball at somebody, right, that's like it simulates blood. That's kind of what it's for. If you fire spaghetti and a paintball, it kind of becomes a little more visceral. I think
Oh, jeez, that's his intestines.
he's got his intestines are quite slender, and they're all the same consistency, and they're a little al dente. I would send this back, honestly.
Bit of garlic.
That's not going anywhere. Here's the next one. You've heard of recycled art,
Yes.
where you take things like bicycle chains and bottle caps, and you turn them into works of art. My idea is recycled art, where you take those, you use recycled art as the thing it originally was, like a bike chain or some pasta.
Sees a sculpture. There's like a bike chain in it.
Yeah.
As a bike chain.
Yeah, you just use
You just use the bike chain.
you kind of just reclaim the items.
So
kind of
basically,
back.
tear down all the recycled art structures and go use them for their original purposes.
Yeah.
Can I talk about something here?
No, actually, I'm afraid this
my-
podcast, your podcast, is the only place where you can't talk about
Oh,
something.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, feel bad about that. What were you gonna say?
Okay, there's a place by my school, I believe. Don't quote me on this. Eskenazi Fine Arts Center, something like Arts Center, something like that. It's by my college. It's obviously an arts place. And they've got like the sculptures and stuff out like you would. And they're kind of interesting. They're visually, they're cool. They're cool to look at.
Yeah.
I have no idea how you'd make one or how you'd think to make one, but but they're made super well. Across the street from it, so not on the lot of this fine art center where all the sculptures are. On the other side of the street, there are these poles that look kind of like telephone poles-ish in the ground. They look kind of like they're not part of anything, right?
Okay.
Except there's a shopping cart on top of one of them, turned upside down and just hanging on top of one of them. And I don't know if it's a sculpture.
Purpose.
Because it's not technically in the lot that this building is in. So did they just decide go for it? Or if it wasn't, how did it end up there?
Here's my theory. I've been thinking about this for the past 12 seconds, and what I can definitively tell you is that what happened is that one of the Aldi jocks was pushing around with one of the Aldi nerds, one of the Aldi weaklings there at the Aldi, at the Aldi shopping mart, and
for the nerds loose change to get a cart.
Yeah, to get a quarter, to get an extra cart, a surplus cart, and the Aldi jock took the same way that you might take some sneakers, took the nerd's cart and just hurled it to the top of a telephone pole. But then it was accidentally art, so it kind of just stayed. Is it supposed to look like a giraffe? Maybe. That's kind of what I envisioned. If it's a shopping cart on the top of a pole,
maybe. I mean, like... where I drive past it, I can't really see it. Not the right angles and stuff, but maybe.
I mean, there are just weird things in downtown Indy. I gotta say, one of my favorites, by which I mean things that I'll stare at for a long time and then just kind of shrug very hard and walk away from, is on the Indianapolis Public Library downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Giant building, 6 floors. Just affixed to the front of the building is just a large like a large sculpture of a donut. And it's kind of just stuck there. Kind of just there. You want to hear the next one?
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Here's the next. Here we go. The clapper.
Yes.
Okay. Now, sometimes the clapper is across the room, Sometimes you just don't feel like clapping, It's a lot of energy to clap. You got to clap twice. So what I've invented is the clapper. Now, what the clapper does is it's a simple device, has a button on it. You push, which makes it clap, which then activates your clap on, clap off light fixture. And I've been thinking about possibly switching out the button with a switch.
So a light switch. You are literally making a light switch.
Well,
100. You have a little remote with a little button that turns on and off your light right now. That is technically a clapper.
I mean, well, there's no clapping involved.
They cut out the middleman.
Kind of what this would be a device that claps for you to turn on and off.
So you could also take it to like
sporting events
like
Hamilton. You could go to Hamilton with your clapper.
He's back.
The thing about that is that what they don't tell you is that all of the light displays at Hamilton are also clappers.
So it's just like
they do. Sometimes it's like a rave in there when the audience gets too rowdy.
I was gonna say when they do something that's great and the audience claps, it amplifies,
which
the
is
moment
like
tenfold.
Every 10 seconds in Hamilton.
It's literally just a rave. If you guys haven't seen the play, it's literally just a rave.
It's basically and you'd think they would have learned. It was actually a clever thing that they did back when Lynn was making In the Heights, because that took place during a blackout, and so there were just no lights. And that's something else they won't tell you. If you've never been to see a Broadway play, that during the whole blackout section, which is like 2 acts of the play take place in a blackout. All of the lights are off in the whole place, and you can't see anything. So most of it's pre-recorded, and that's kind of just the actors' kind of drink break. That's what that is. So they say 8 shows a week, but it's like 10 minutes of being on stage, and then that's why sometimes when they run back on the stage for the closing number, some of them are still like holding snacks. It's like, wait a minute, I didn't remember Usnavi eating a bag of combos in this scene. Well, he wasn't, but those deadlines come quick. I'll just do one more of these for now.
Sure thing.
Okay. Says here Jell-O shorts. All right, and then it says not a typo. I would have thought that was a typo. I'm familiar with Jell-O shots.
What would you? Oh, Jell-O shots. Okay.
But it does say Jell-O shorts.
Jell-O shorts. Shorts made of Jell-O, or maybe Jell-O made of shorts.
Explain that second one to me. Kind of just
What do you mean?
take
Jell-O
a stab.
made of shorts?
No, I really need the kind of the Mr. Rogers process of that. Kind of the take me into the factory with Fred Rogers right now.
Okay.
And explain to me how this process works of turning shorts into Jell-O.
Well, it's boxed Jell-O, right? Most people
Presumably-
get boxed Jell-O.
Presumably, this is what occurs after Bart Simpson says, "Eat my shorts," and then
So you go ahead and you get the boxed Jell-O. It's like a powder. I haven't
Yep.
made Jell-O in a while.
uh-huh. You're doing great.
You get a big mixing bowl. You pour the powder into the mixing bowl. You take water.
Okay.
You drink the water. You put your shorts into the mixing bowl.
Okay.
You mix it up to like tear it to
Now-
shreds to where your shorts are like now in ribbons.
Oh yes.
And then you pour
Yes.
water on it so the denim gets
So
wet.
the water has kind of made a
You get more water.
Could you not use the first water?
You need it's important to hydrate, kids.
It's important to hydrate kids.
But when the denim gets wet, it gets really like damp and sticky and all that.
that is what wet means.
all the powder just sticks to it like glue,
Okay.
and then you can put it in the oven at 400 degrees.
Do you know how to make Jell-O? Have you heard of Jell-O? You don't put Jell-O in the oven. Well, maybe you do. Oh,
for
then what?
400 degrees for 45 minutes, and you come back. I'm sorry, I can't.
You look like you're hawking up a lung. Could you just finish the thought?
I totally said oven without even just straight in to the next step without.
Oh
thinking
no, thou
about
hast
it.
made thy bed, thou shalt lie in it. Let's please tell me what you do with the Jell-O after you've burnt it in the oven for 45 minutes. You can't breathe, can you?
No.
I'm not seeing one inhale in the past about minute and a half. I have not seen Connor inhale once. He's crying.
Oh, that's it. Cancel the show. I'm done.
Do you want a pet tortellino?
That would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. Okay. So when the oven beeps, right? You take the oven out, get oven mitts.
I imagine
Obviously
the oven
important. You don't want
screams
to.
at this point. I imagine that's kind of what's going on. Kind of just the oven, from like the 32-minute mark, the oven has just been doing a constant just.
Stop! You're gonna hurt. This hurts. This actually hurts. So after you pull it out of the oven with your oven mitts, right? Go ahead and pour it into one of your baking tins.
Okay.
Right? Kind of like you'd put brownies or what do you put in a baking tin? A casserole? People put a casserole in a baking tin.
Sure.
I don't really know how casseroles are made. They just kind of appear in my fridge.
Yeah.
Half eaten and covered in tinfoil. And from there, you can go ahead and take a knife and then kind of slice it into little slice it into little
Do you
sections.
remember how there's pants in here?
Yeah. It kind of adds a nice texture. It kind of envelops it like a dough, so you kind of got a jello-y, wriggly bit on the inside, kind of like a fruit gusher. But think leather. Think a leather fruit gusher. What am I thinking? Like those fruit leathers that you get at the store, but then
Roll-ups?
no,
Or
like a fruit leather.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can find them at mom and pop
Fruit
stores in
leather.
the country.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things because we eat regular leather, so let's make a fruit version.
And then you can kind of mold it into balls, and then it's kind of got the consistency of a cake pop or something. You can stick little sticks into it if you want. Yeah.
How long have you been off your medication?
I don't have medication.
Hey, we've got a new segment.
That might be it. That might be it.
Another segment right now. For the two of you who are still left.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to...
So, Graham mentioned habits a
Yes,
little bit before the show.
That was the theme of this episode, but now it's Jell-O shorts, and I'm very on board.
Before we recorded the episode, so I decided to pull up Handy Dandy Ask Reddit, which is a treasure trove of the world's knowledge of both experts and idiots. And I decided to look up some weird habits that people might have. Let's go ahead and talk about these for a second.
Yeah, this is kind of your curated list. I haven't really seen these.
I separate colors when I eat multi-flavored candy and eat them at different combinations, ratios to make recipes. 2 cherry to 1 lemon starburst and equal parts green apple and strawberry Skittles are really good. So is this kind of like a weird habit, or is this like an actual thing that could be a thing?
I think this is something that might just be chalked up to having being kind of thoughtful about flavors, you know? To me, it's not that different from people combining colors, to put together an outfit. I'm going to say that's not that weird. I don't think I really have to rationalize that. Give me something that I really have to work on.
Something that you really have to work on?
Yeah. What you got?
I thoroughly inspect both sides of chips to see which would taste better and then put the best side on my tongue.
Now, this is basically what I said with chicken nuggets back in Cell Swords. I turn them to find the best. No, this is different.
This is different. Chicken nuggets is like a uniform theme.
Sure. So
well, then
carefully.
chips?
Okay, it depends on the chip. Here's what I'm gonna say. It depends on the chip. Now, if it's a Pringle, which is technically a crisp,
there's a difference.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing.
Okay, I won't get into that.
There's
some nasty hate comments on the crisp fandom.
Yeah, I think with a Pringle, there's only it's more just about the shape of it, right? Same with a lot of different types of chips. I think it's mostly the shape. Now, if you got like a Dorito, I think it makes sense to see like if one side has more dust or something. I get that. I get that. Honestly, I feel like it's not that weird. It's not something that I do usually, but I feel like it's not that weird.
I very rarely used to get fruit roll-ups as a child, so they were kind of a treat to me. And because they were such a treat, I developed a ritual for eating them. First, I unroll the sheet carefully and remove the plastic film. Then, I take the silky side of the roll and put it against my face so I can smell the delicious aroma of processed fructose while also feeling the smooth texture on my skin. After a good whiff and rub, I start on a corner, biting it off and slowly sucking on it so that it will last a very long time. It is a very satisfying experience.
Hey, that's the worst thing I've ever heard. Every word of that was which serial killer did you say this was a direct quote from? Who was it? Was it Jeffrey Dahmer? Was it Charles Manson?
No.
It sounds like it might be John Wayne Gacy. Kind of had that whole... Does it say that they put the fruit roll-up in limestone? Because that would be John Wayne Gacy. That's the worst. That's so bad. That's like the worst description of anything I've ever heard in my life. My skin is crawling. I've got the heebies and the jeebies. I've got both the heebies and the jeebies. Listen, that's all the time we have for today. I'm so yucked out. Oh my gosh. Yo, we got one more thing we got to do. Yep. And that is we consult the Dictionary of Dreams to see what's up. And I think, what's the most relevant thing to what we talked about that's actually in the Dictionary of Dreams?
It's actually in the dictionary. The Dictionary of Dreams obviously doesn't have every word. That would be absurd. So it doesn't have stuff like habits. How do you dream of habits? It does have shower. We mentioned shower.
Yeah, I think we both had shower stuff going on. Let me grab the trusty old cheapo recorder. Okay, so the shower one was super whack. It made me even more uncomfortable. So we're going to do fruit roll-ups, and then I'm going to take a very long shower. I'll probably burn my skin with kind of my whole routine that I'll need to do to kind of just rinse off the heebies and the jeebies that I got from recording this episode of 100% Worse. Let me give you an intro for fruit on my on my $1 recorder.
Fruit. To dream of seeing fruit ripening among its foliage usually foretells to the dreamer a prosperous future. Green fruit signifies disappointed efforts or hasty action. To buy or sell fruit denotes much business, but not very remunerative. I think that's a word. To see to see or eat ripe fruit signifies uncertain fortune and pleasure. This has been the Dictionary of Dreams.
Yeah, it certainly has. Well, that's all we got for you this week on Hundo. If you want to drop us an email, which we highly encourage that you do, with just anything that's on your mind, you can hit us up at 100%worse@gmail.com. That's the number 100, the words percent and worse. Or, of course, you can email us at hundo@turboteenmovie.com, because, we got that domain on lock.
Or, hey, Jell-O short us a tweet at 100% worse.
That's the number 100, the words percent and worse. Also, we got a hashtag now.
Oh, yeah. Hashtag 100 worse.
100 worse. Yeah, that was the one. We put out a poll. That's the one you guys chose. So you can do a hashtag 100. That's the number 100 worse. It doesn't have the same.
No, it doesn't work.
Doesn't have the magic. Hey, keep those iTunes ratings and reviews coming. Thank you so much to everyone who's left one so far. I checked it, and we had a few. And you guys are giving us 5-star ratings, which is very kind of you. Yeah, thanks so much. And if you like the show, obviously ratings, write a review. That helps us out a lot. Also tell a friend, strap them to a chair, give them a fruit roll up, and just make them listen, I guess, to an episode. I don't know. I don't know how to be a fruit roll up serial killer. So you're gonna have to figure that one out on your own.
Oh, hey, thanks, Kenny, for doing the opening monologue again.
Yeah. Don't let Tortellino hit you on the way out. No, but seriously, it's just an absolute delight editing your voice every week. It makes it sound like I'm auto-tuning you or something. I just mean editing you into the show from your position over there next to Tortellino. Anyway, it's been a good one. I've been Graham Ganol.
I've been Connor Hughes.
And this has been 100% Worse. Long live Turbo Teen. Somebody get me an apple. Wasn't that one of my old catchphrases?
Oh, was it? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think it was.
And they took that show and made that show 100% worse.